Humility, a timeless beauty. There is a power that doesn't come from authority or fame, but from silence and humility. Have you ever noticed this kind of power? Imagine a lotus flower blooming amidst the mud. It doesn't shout, it doesn't boast, yet it captivates everyone with its pure and serene presence. The lotus doesn't need to prove its worth. It simply exists, and that very existence makes it beautiful and enduring. Humility is the same. It's not weakness or submission, but a quiet strength that subtly influences others without demanding attention or praise. Have you ever met someone who, simply by being present, makes you feel at ease, respected, and naturally inclined to listen? That is the power of humility. In today's fast-paced world, we are often obsessed with achievements, recognition, and status. Yet, it's often the silent moments, the simple acts, the humble gestures that leave a deeper and longer-lasting impact than flashy titles or loud proclamations. Consider the teachers, leaders, and wise figures throughout history. They didn't flaunt power, yet their words and actions left lasting impressions. Humility doesn't mean undervaluing yourself or being passive. Rather, it's understanding your own worth without needing to show it off, listening more than speaking, and putting the greater good above personal ego. Ask yourself, today, have I shone too brightly, or have I listened, yielded, and cared for others? Humility allows us to see the world with more balance, gratitude, and an open heart. It's a beauty that doesn't fade, because it doesn't rely on external recognition but stems from inner peace, confidence, and compassion. A simple example: when you help someone without expecting thanks or recognition, you discover the joy of giving purely, and the recipient senses your sincerity. Humility lets you shine without harming, lead without imposing, and live a meaningful life without getting swept up in the noise of the world. Look around. The people truly loved, respected, and remembered are often the humble ones. They don't boast, they don't demand attention, yet their inner strength, serenity, and compassion naturally draw people in. Humility is a timeless beauty, not of appearance or fame, but of the soul and character. So today, are you ready to embrace this quiet power? Allow yourself to listen more, give more, and live with humility like a lotus in the mud, beautiful, serene, and enduring. Self-awareness. Humility isn't about putting yourself down or hiding your abilities. It begins with truly understanding yourself, recognizing your strengths so you can use them wisely, acknowledging your weaknesses without deceiving yourself, and doing all of this without boasting or belittling. Have you ever noticed that the most humble people often command respect naturally? It's not because they are more talented, but because of the sincerity and honesty with which they live. Imagine a monk living in a small village. He never boasts about his knowledge or his spiritual accomplishments. Whenever someone struggles, he quietly lends a hand, perhaps bringing some food, helping tidy a home, or simply listening to their worries. He asks for nothing in return, not even thanks or recognition. Yet over time, villagers gradually notice the difference. Every action he takes comes from the heart, without calculation, without personal gain. And slowly, they begin to respect him, not for his reputation, but for his genuine humility and kindness. This story reflects a profound teaching from the Buddha. True self-awareness is the foundation of wisdom and compassion. When we understand ourselves, we are no longer deceived by success or crushed by failure. We see clearly the nature of our emotions, actions, and motivations. From that understanding, humility is not forced or artificial. It naturally arises from wisdom and compassion. Ask yourself, how well do you really know yourself? Can you face your weaknesses and limitations without judgment or shame? When we have the courage to look honestly at ourselves, we realize that true humility isn't about diminishing who we are. It's about living authentically and with integrity. It becomes the foundation for healthy relationships and guiding others through the heart rather than through power or appearances. A small modern life example. Have you ever met a colleague or friend who quietly helps others without boasting? Even when they don't receive direct thanks, their impact quietly spreads. People sense their sincerity, and it naturally fosters respect and trust. Humility, even in our world today, remains one of the most powerful ways to create positive influence, and it does so without fanfare. So start with self-awareness, observe yourself, acknowledge both strengths and weaknesses, and act with sincerity. When you do, respect no longer needs to be sought, it comes naturally. Self-awareness is the first step, but also the strongest foundation for a life filled with humility, wisdom, and compassion. Listening instead of speaking. Humility isn't just about self-awareness, it also shows in the way we communicate with the world. Humble people tend to listen more than they speak. They understand that every word carries weight and influence, and sometimes, silence can be more powerful than any spoken phrase. Imagine a small village with a man who rarely speaks in conversations. At first, people might think he is inexperienced or indifferent. But over time, they notice something different. When he does speak, every word is timely, thoughtful, and meaningful. A single piece of advice from him could resolve conflicts in the village. A subtle comment could change the way people view a problem for the long term. His influence doesn't come from power or flashy knowledge. It comes from his ability to listen, observe, and truly understand. This story reflects a profound teaching. Sometimes silence is stronger than speech. When we truly listen, we don't just gather information. We perceive the emotions, needs, and inner struggles of others. We learn to see deeper into the world, understanding that every action and every word carries consequences. Listening is an expression of wisdom and compassion. By listening, we honor others and cultivate understanding within ourselves. Ask yourself, in daily life, how much time do you really spend listening? Have you ever been caught up in speaking to prove your point or share your experience, forgetting to truly understand the other person? By speaking less and listening more, we discover that the world isn't just a collection of information. It's a treasure trove of experiences, emotions, and insights from those around us. A modern life example. Imagine a work meeting or a gathering with friends. Instead of speaking immediately, you choose to listen deeply. You'll notice details you normally overlook, understand the worries, joys, or fears others are experiencing. These insights not only help you build stronger relationships but also enhance your decision-making, as you are viewing situations from multiple perspectives. Humble people understand that listening isn't passive or weak. On the contrary, it is an act of power, the power of understanding, genuine connection, and lasting influence. When we listen, others feel valued and safe to share, and that very act of listening naturally builds trust and respect. So, try dedicating more time to listen. Observe, feel, and notice what isn't being said. You'll realize that true strength doesn't always come from speaking. It comes from understanding and empathy. Silence can be the most profound language, and when paired with humility, it can transform the way you see the world and the way the world sees you. Letting go of the ego. Humility isn't just about self-awareness or listening. It's also about the ability to let go of the ego, the I that always wants to win, to be right, to be acknowledged and praised. When we can let go of this ego, we truly open space to learn, to connect, and to experience happiness fully. Imagine a powerful king, holding all the authority over a vast kingdom. People might expect him to issue commands and for everyone to obey. But this king was different. He constantly sought the opinions of his people, learned from them, and respected every perspective, no matter how small. When making decisions, he relied not on his power or reputation, but on understanding and the consensus of those around him. Because of this, his kingdom not only remained stable but also flourished, and the people respected him, not out of fear, but out of genuine admiration. This story reflects a key teaching from the Buddha. Pride and arrogance are the root of suffering. When we are overly attached to ourself, we become driven by greed, anger, and envy. We view the world through a lens of selfishness, which leads to tension, conflict, and unhappiness for ourselves and others. In contrast, when we let go of the ego, we don't lose our identity or value. Instead, we open a space of freedom where wisdom and compassion can flourish. In modern life, letting go of the ego is not easy. We are often caught up in proving ourselves right, defending our opinions, or maintaining social status. But try this small experiment. In a discussion, instead of insisting on being right, truly listen and accept that others' viewpoints have value. You might be surprised at how tension eases, relationships soften, and you see the situation more clearly. Letting go of the ego is not weakness, it is true strength. Strength to connect, to understand, and to create lasting happiness. Another example in life. Many great leaders, scientists, and inspirational figures share a common trait. They know how to let go of the ego. They are not swayed by fame, praise, or recognition. They focus on a larger purpose, on their mission, and on serving others. This humility allows them to have a lasting impact, not through power or authority, but through sincerity, respect, and the ability to connect with people. So, ask yourself, how much of your life is governed by your ego? Are you willing to let go of pride, biases, and the constant need for recognition, and open space for wisdom, compassion, and true happiness? When you practice letting go of the ego, You will discover that joy and peace don't come from power or praise. They come from inner freedom, living authentically, respecting others, and viewing the world with an open heart. Thus, letting go of the ego is an essential part of humility. It doesn't make you weaker, it makes you stronger, strong in wisdom, in compassion, and in your ability to create lasting positive influence. By letting go of the ego, we truly step onto the path of enduring happiness, freedom, and inner peace. Acting with kindness. Humility isn't just about self-awareness or listening. It is also shown through action. Humble people don't need to boast about their abilities or their goodness. Instead, they let their actions speak, allowing the true value of their character to be felt through experience rather than words. Their actions are not meant to prove anything or seek recognition. They come from a place of genuine sincerity. Imagine a young woman living in a small village. She quietly helps the poor and families in need, never seeking to have her name known. She brings food, clothes, and occasionally helps repair houses for those struggling. There's no spotlight, no public praise or recognition. Yet, the impact of her action spreads. The people she helps feel comforted and cared for, and gradually, the community begins to follow her example. Her kindness doesn't require validation, but its effects are lasting and profound. This story reflects a profound teaching. Acts of compassion and humility have a deeper, more lasting impact than any praise. When we act with genuine kindness, we not only help others but also inspire those around us. This is very different from showing off or speaking beautiful words without action. Words can be forgotten, misinterpreted, or ignored, but actions born from genuine kindness always leave a lasting mark. Ask yourself, have you ever done something for someone without letting them know it was you? Or, in modern life, do you act for the real benefit of others, or for recognition, praise, or the feeling of being good? When we act with true kindness, the difference isn't in being acknowledged, it's in the real impact on someone else's life and how they experience the world. A modern life example. Think of charities or volunteers who quietly help without seeking fame or personal gain. These quiet acts, even if small, have the power to transform communities. They remind us that humility isn't about hiding our value. It's about using that value to serve, not to show off. This is how genuine kindness spreads, planting seeds of positivity in the lives of others. So, act with kindness. Let your actions speak louder than words. When you help without seeking recognition, you are truly demonstrating the strength of humility. In doing so, you bring joy, comfort, and hope to others while nurturing wisdom, compassion, and a fulfilling life within yourself. Acting with kindness is a living proof that humility is not just theory. It's a powerful way of living that transforms both the giver and the receiver. Accepting mistakes. Humility isn't just about listening, letting go of the ego, or acting with kindness. It's also about the ability to accept mistakes and learn from failure. Humble people don't hide their errors or blame others. They face reality directly, acknowledge their limitations, and see mistakes as opportunities for growth. When you dare to admit your errors, you become stronger and inspire those around you. Imagine a prominent entrepreneur leading a successful company. One day, a strategic decision he made didn't go as planned, causing significant losses. Instead of hiding it or blaming others, he stood before his team and openly acknowledged his mistake. He analyzed the reasons, shared the lessons learned, and invited everyone to find solutions together. This action did not diminish his credibility. On the contrary, it built trust, respect, and cohesion within the company. People sensed that their leader could face the truth, take responsibility, and learn, qualities that define true humility. This story reflects a profound teaching from the Buddha. Admitting mistakes does not make you weak, it makes you stronger and wiser. When we realize that failure and error are natural parts of life, we learn to manage our emotions, cultivate patience, and find the right path forward. Conversely, if we constantly hide mistakes, deceive ourselves, or blame others, we become trapped in a cycle of failure and stress, losing opportunities to grow and build trust with others. Ask yourself, when you make a mistake, how do you usually respond? Do you dare to admit and learn, or do you try to hide and avoid responsibility? In modern life, admitting mistakes can be more challenging than ever due to pressure to succeed, social judgment, and fear of criticism. Yet, the courage to acknowledge errors is a sign of true wisdom and humility. It fosters a culture of trust, where people feel safe to share, experiment, and grow. Another example from life. Many great leaders, scientists, and public figures have experienced public failure, but instead of hiding it, They learned from it and shared their experiences to help others avoid the same pitfalls. This approach not only helps them grow but also creates a lasting positive influence, building trust and respect. Mistakes are not the end. They are opportunities to demonstrate inner strength, the ability to learn, and the quality of humility. So, learn to accept your mistakes. See failure as a lesson, not something to fear or be ashamed of. When you dare to acknowledge and learn from your errors, you become stronger in both intellect and emotion, while also fostering trust, respect, and lasting influence with those around you. Accepting mistakes is a crucial step on the path of humility, wisdom, and enduring happiness. Not being jealous of others. Humility is not only about self-awareness, listening, letting go of the ego, acting with kindness, or accepting mistakes. It also involves respecting the success of others without feeling jealous. Humble people understand that someone else's achievements do not diminish their own value. On the contrary, they can serve as opportunities to learn, get inspired, and grow together. When you let go of jealousy, you create a peaceful and open mind, ready to embrace true opportunities and happiness. Imagine a simple story from school. There's a student who quietly supports a classmate, never feeling jealous when that friend wins a prestigious award. Instead of comparing themselves or feeling envious, the student encourages, shares the joy, and learns from the friend's success. The result? Not only does the friend thrive, but the student also grows remarkably thanks to collaboration, learning, and a positive attitude. Genuine support without jealousy creates a positive cycle where everyone can grow and succeed. This story reflects an essential teaching from the Buddha. Jealousy is a source of suffering. When we compare ourselves, feel envious, or think others are better than us, our minds become restless, stressed, and prone to dissatisfaction. In contrast, when we respect the success of others, our minds open to peace, compassion, and wisdom. We begin to see the world more broadly, appreciate the value in every person and experience, instead of being trapped in a small-minded ego and constant comparison. In modern life, jealousy appears everywhere, from work to social media to personal relationships. We often compare. Why is someone else more successful than me? Why are they praised and I'm not? These comparisons only create tension and unease. Instead, focus on learning from others, collaborating, supporting, and sharing. When you practice this kind of humility, you'll realize that others' success is not a threat. It's a source of inspiration and a chance to grow. A real-life example. Many great leaders, entrepreneurs, and artists emphasize that they learn the most from those around them, their colleagues, competitors, or peers. They do not feel jealous. They respect others' talent and effort. This mindset not only helps them grow but also builds sustainable relationships, mutual respect, and thriving communities. So, ask yourself, are you letting jealousy control your mind, or are you ready to respect and learn from others' achievements? When you release jealousy, you open your mind to peace while cultivating wisdom, compassion, and deeper connections with those around you. Not being jealous is an essential part of humility, leading to a life of peace, fulfillment, and enduring happiness. Humility in speech. Humility is not only reflected in actions, awareness, or kindness. It also manifests clearly in how we use words. Humble people understand that words are powerful, but that power is not meant to show off, dominate, or prove themselves. They speak at the right time, in the right place, and know when to pause, allowing each word to carry weight, inspire, and build trust. Imagine a leader in a company or organization. He never speaks just to fill silence, boast, or appear important. Instead, he listens, observes, and only speaks when truly necessary. Yet, every time he does, his words are clear, impactful, and inspiring. These words do more than guide work. They convey values, encourage, and create trust within the team. Employees feel respected, heard, and are more willing to collaborate wholeheartedly. This story reminds us of an important teaching. Humble speech is not about complete silence, but about careful consideration, thoughtful selection, and using words to connect rather than divide. When you control your speech, you influence how others perceive you and how you build lasting relationships. Humble people know that talking too much or speaking without thought can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and even loss of trust. Ask yourself, do you often speak excessively to prove yourself, or do you speak when necessary and with a positive message? In modern society, it's easy to feel pressured to always speak up, from social media to the workplace. Yet, listening and choosing words wisely creates lasting power. A well-timed, focused word can resolve conflicts, motivate, and inspire for the long term, while careless or self-important speech can erode trust and relationships. A real-life example: respected leaders, teachers, or public figures often do not speak much, but every word they say is carefully considered. They understand that the value of speech lies not in quantity but in meaning and impact. Practicing humility in speech helps you develop intellect and character while building a community grounded in trust, respect, and deep connection. So, learn to speak when necessary, speak wisely, and speak with humility. Let your words become a source of inspiration, trust, and connection. When you control your speech, you not only nurture yourself but also create a positive, lasting influence on those around you. Humility in speech is a crucial part of living a fulfilling, wise, and meaningful life. The power of patience. Humility is not only about letting go of the ego, listening, or acting with kindness. It is also closely linked with another essential virtue: patience. Humble people understand that everything takes time to grow, relationships require care, and meaningful results are never instant. They do not rush, react in anger, or act on impulse. Instead, they patiently observe, learn, and act from an inner calm. Imagine a diligent farmer in a small village. Every day, he quietly goes to his fields, planting seeds, tending to the crops, watering, fertilizing, and removing weeds. At first, progress seems slow. Tiny seeds buried in the soil barely show signs of life. But he does not complain or push for quick results. Day after day, season after season, and eventually, thanks to patience, he witnesses a bountiful harvest. His patience not only brings material rewards but also nurtures a peaceful mind and deep trust in the natural rhythm of life. This story reflects an important teaching of the Buddha. Patience is one of the most vital virtues of the wise. When we practice patience, we learn not to be dominated by negative emotions, to observe events from a broader perspective, and to seek solutions rather than react hastily. Patience helps us overcome challenges, cultivate resilience, compassion, and profound wisdom. In modern life, patience is rarer than ever. We are accustomed to speed, instant results in work, information, and relationships. We easily become frustrated when results don't arrive immediately or when things do not go our way. Yet it is precisely at these moments that practicing patience, together with humility, is the key to maintaining inner peace, seeing clearly, and achieving sustainable outcomes. Ask yourself, when things do not go as expected, how do you react? Do you become angry and complain, or can you patiently observe, learn, and continue with calm determination? Truly patient people are often the ones who achieve lasting success and make a deep impact. They understand that all meaningful values in life, knowledge, relationships, or spiritual growth, require time. Another real-life example: many famous scientists, artists, and entrepreneurs experienced repeated failures, delayed projects, or setbacks. Instead of giving up, they patiently learned, adapted, and continued striving. It is through patience that they achieved enduring results, earned respect, and left a lasting legacy. Patience, when paired with humility, not only helps us overcome challenges but also deepens our understanding and compassion toward ourselves and others. So, nurture patience in every action, thought, and perspective on life. Allow time to reveal the value of effort, careful observation, and patient humility. When you practice patience, you grow not only in wisdom and character but also create a life of peace, fulfillment, and profound meaning. Humility in success. Humility is not only important in failure, daily conduct, or challenging times. It is especially crucial when we achieve success. Humble people understand that success is not a reason for arrogance or self-importance. On the contrary, it is an opportunity to express gratitude, authenticity, and inspire others. When we remain humble even in our most shining moments, we not only preserve our character but also create a positive and lasting impact on the community. Consider the story of a famous artist who faced countless challenges, hardships, and failures before gaining recognition. When receiving awards or standing on stage, instead of boasting about achievements, she always acknowledges those who supported, helped, and inspired her: teachers, friends, colleagues, and even the audience who believed in her. This humility makes people feel connected and respectful. They admire not only her talent but also the values of gratitude and authenticity she embodies. This story reflects an essential teaching. Humility helps us remain authentic and create lasting inspiration for others. The Buddha emphasized that pride is a source of suffering and ego. When we recognize that our success is also thanks to effort, opportunity, and the help of others, We truly appreciate life and relationships. Conversely, arrogance makes success fleeting, easily leading to distance and isolation. In modern life, many young people, when achieving success, are tempted by pride, showing off on social media or in public. But those truly respected are not the ones who flaunt achievements. They radiate positive energy, inspire others through their actions, words, and humble attitude. They understand that success is not a reward for self-glorification, but a responsibility to keep learning, sharing, and nurturing good values. Ask yourself, when you achieve success, do you remain authentic, grateful, and humble, or are you swept away by excessive pride? Practicing humility in success helps you develop wisdom, maintain sustainable relationships, and become a positive role model. Many renowned leaders, artists, and scholars emphasize that humility is a key factor in sustaining long-term success, building trust, and inspiring others deeply. So, learn to keep a humble heart even when standing at the top. Acknowledge those who helped, be grateful for opportunities, and act with authenticity. When you succeed with humility, you shine in a sustainable way, creating a path for others to be inspired, grow together, and spread positive values throughout life. Humility, a timeless beauty. Humility, after all we have explored, from self-awareness, listening, letting go of the ego, acting with kindness, accepting mistakes, not envying, speaking with humility, patience, to humility and success, is truly a timeless inner beauty. It does not boast or demand attention, yet it possesses a remarkable power, building genuine relationships, nurturing trust, and bringing lasting peace into life. Think about a friend, a colleague, or a partner you truly value. Most of us are drawn not only to their talents or achievements, but also to their authenticity, humility, and how they treat others. Humility creates closeness, a connection that wealth, fame, or power cannot buy. It allows us to recognize the value of those around us and maintain inner peace amid life's turbulence. Consider a vivid example: a humble monk living a simple life, without fame or title, yet for decades, the villagers respect him and seek his guidance. He does not advertise or boast. He quietly acts with kindness, listens, and practices patience. His influence does not come from power or recognition, but from humility, from the way he lives and treats everyone around him. This clearly demonstrates that humility is a timeless beauty, transcending time and circumstance. The Buddha teaches that humility is not self-deprecation or inferiority, but a deep understanding of one's own value, respect for others, and action from the heart. It combines wisdom, compassion, and profound insight into life. Humble people do not seek praise or attention, yet they are respected, cherished, and leave a lasting spiritual legacy. In modern life, where everything moves at speed and revolves around achievement and recognition, humility becomes a rare and precious quality. It helps us avoid negative emotions, maintain inner peace, and cultivate lasting relationships. Ask yourself, in your daily actions and words, do you allow humility to guide you? Do you practice patience, listen carefully, act with kindness, and honor those around you? Humility is a choice that offers enduring value, not only for yourself but also for everyone in your life. So, let humility guide you every day. It will be the solid foundation for wisdom, compassion, and lasting happiness. And in the next video, we will explore the quiet power of compassion, the next step to nurturing true and enduring joy in life.